picture, this is all night, even the days. We're waiting for the great day. And so Judaism gives us a larger context within which to contemplate our lives. To see every 24-hour period is a microcosm of all time and all eternity. But really what it's all leading to is something much greater, to the great Shabbat and beyond. This larger context is what helped me. So I wanted to share it with you. And I think, in a sense, I've gone far enough, and I want to open it up, to what do you want to hear? What do you want to know? And perhaps Mark will help us also. Where's Mark? Hi, Mark. Mark did an amazing thing for me in the last few weeks, the 2 weeks that I've been here. Mark sits me down in a chair and asks me questions. And really amazing questions. And I've been able to formulate all the things that I've been holding for years to speak them out. And so maybe you can help them ask questions. And we can
does anybody have a question they want to ask, or Rabbi, when you say your name?
My name is Hillel. I was learning Sefer called Chuvot HaTalmidim by the Sutton Rabbi recently, and he was living at a time of crisis in which he was dealing with
in the Warsaw Ghetto.
Living in the Warsaw Ghetto and dealing with a lot of Jews leaving. And one of the things that he said that really penetrated and really made an impression on me. He says that you need to return to your heart. You need to return to your heart. Can you develop that idea? Can you help me understand what you think that's not meant by that?
That's so important. Yeah. It should be the most natural thing. What happened somehow in the Torah world was that it became divorced from the heart. You don't trust your heart. So I have a footnote in one of my books. The verse says, don't go straying after your heart. So Rabbi Ishmael says in the Sifri, it doesn't say, don't go after your heart. Oh no, don't stray after your heart, but yes, go after your heart. What does that mean? It means don't stray. Okay, meaning this, but the idea behind it is the true desire of the heart is for truth, and to trust that, and to know that we have built into us. That's our real connection with God. It's not even our brains. Our brains can't understand what God is, but our hearts and our souls. So, how do I develop on that? I believe that he's right, that we have to connect to our heart. We have to be true to our heart. When we hear something and it doesn't feel right, it doesn't sound right, we have to speak up and ask. And many times teachers are involved in giving over knowledge that they've understood in life, but it doesn't. It answers questions that they've had. But what about questions that we have? So I found that I call it the navigational rules of Judaism. I didn't ask my deepest questions to just every teacher I met, because I wanted to ask them. I found out that if you ask a certain kind of question to a one who's not ready for it, they'll tell you that's not a question. That's the problem. But if you go to somebody bigger, somebody who can see past their own nose, that's a beautiful question. That's the deepest depth. Hashem is helping you to come through that question, to know what you need to know. No, it's to empower, to love somebody else in their process. In order to do that, you have to connect to your own heart. You have to connect to the other person's heart. You have to love each other. In the truth, you love your friend as yourself. I am God. If you love each other, then I can be God. And what do we love in each other? The Ani Hashem, the infinite, the other person. I mean, if anything, it's the most natural thing in the world to be able to, that the Torah should empower us and support us in the things that we know are of the deepest and most truest things. And it does. And when you learn Torah the right way, it totally supports everything that you truly feel with your heart. Once I understood it that we have two ventricles. What do they call it? The two halves of the heart. There's four, and they correspond to the two tablets of the covenant. So the two hemispheres of the brain. But for the moment, the two parts of the heart correspond to the two tablets of the covenant. The Torah is not an external teaching that I try and take on myself and put on like myself like a straitjacket. The Torah is something that is really just to awaken the deepest depths of truth that is in each one of us. There's a tradition I heard that when we get to heaven, they'll ask us what our Torah is. Not what we learned from, not the book learning, but what we came to in our own heart from what we learned. And they'll learn that Torah. Because that's the reason we came to this planet, is to learn our Torah. My Torah, your Torah. And it's the verse in Psalm. It's the second verse in all of Tehillim. Ki b'Torah Adonai chetzo, u'b'Torato yehegei yomam v'layla. So Rashi says a very important thing there in the Gemara in Kiddushin and on the verse itself. Ki b'Torah Hashem chetzo. The first verse is an amazing verse. It says, "Happy is the man who doesn't walk with the evil, who doesn't stand with the insolent, who doesn't sit or dwell with the scoffers." See a progression here. You're walking, at least don't stand. If you're standing, at least don't sit. Don't become home. Don't make it home. Keep walking. But you see, it's a downward spiral. So Tehillim starts with a verse that is basically, well, if you've walked, if you've stood, and if you've sat, if you've dwelt, I'm going to show you, King David says, this is the book of Tshuva. This is the world of Tshuva. Everybody has done something to get us, that we've fallen, that we've gotten stuck. The rest of this book is how to get out of being stuck. Don't ever think that you don't have any, that your life is over. We're just beginning. So the second verse starts, rather, instead of falling into these three levels here, but rather, what did I say? Rather, his desire is in the Torah of God, the Torah of Hashem. And the Baal Shem Tov says on this, the Torah Hasod, the deeper teachings of the Torah. Specifically, because that's what's the Shivat Nefesh, that's what gives us our soul back. And then it says, so the double meaning is, and in his Torah, we just mentioned God's Torah. So it's really his Torah with a capital H. In his Torah, he meditates day and night. But really the double meaning is, Rashi says, when you meditate in God's Torah, it becomes your Torah. So the H with a capital H and a small h. It's because I learned God's Torah that now it becomes mine. And I can say it in a way that you can't, and you can say it in a way that I can't, and you can say it in a way that nobody else can, because it's your Torah. The Torah is your life. So Torah is a beautifully universal meaning here and a specific meaning. The Torah of the deeper meaning of